In this technology-driven world where turbochargers and dual-clutch transmissions are becoming the recipe for driving fun, three characters keep popping up to remind us of the virtues of simplicity: M, X and 5. The original model rewrote the definition of cheap thrills in 1989, and more than a quarter of a century later, the modern classic is back for a fourth generation that looks set to do it all again. The new MX-5 sticks to the proven formula of a lightweight, balanced rear-wheel drive chassis with an open roof, and while they've always been much cheaper than a European convertible, the new one manages to be much cheaper again. In fact, it's nearly as cheap as the other budget rear drive handling hero, the Toyota 86, and while its starting price is still headline worthy, the MX-5 is a convertible to boot. The new MX-5 has been on a weight loss program and somehow manages to pack modern safety needs within a body that's almost as light as the original. Helping drop the kilos is the fact that it's a fair bit smaller than the model it replaces and is even shorter than the 1989 model. It may be smaller, but the interior is the same size as before and should handle anyone up to about 6'3". The roof has reverted to a lightweight soft top, but it's very easy to pop up and down with a single latch to lock it in place. Australia is one of the few markets to get two engine choices with the new MX-5, with the price-leading 1.5-litre we're driving here and a more powerful 2-litre arriving later this year. As before, you can choose between a 6-speed manual or auto, and both are brand new designs. The MX-5 is coming to Australia in two trim levels, and the base Roadster we're driving here misses out on the top-spec Roadster GT's leather trim and a few other convenience features, and the MZD Connect multimedia system and sat-nav are optional. The 1.5-litre is an upgraded version of the engine used in the Mazda 2, and while its outputs may not seem much, the power-to-weight ratio is comparable with the old 2-litre model. As a result, it gets along pretty well. You wouldn't call it fast, but the way it forces you to use the gears to get the best out of it is far more satisfying than any paddle-shifting dual-clutcher. It doesn't hit max torque until 4,800 revs, but it's a great excuse to downshift through the narrow gate, which has a great feel and short throw. The 1.5-litre engine is sewing machine smooth right up to the red line, with a satisfying but not intrusive exhaust and induction buzz from about 3,000 revs. The steering is now electrically assisted for the first time, but it still feels pretty good with a fast ratio. All manuals come with a limited slip diff, which along with 50-50 weight balance, makes it a hoot to dance around on the limits of the skinny standard tyres. This is the key to the MX-5 experience. You can access its limits and have an absolute blast at speeds that are less of a threat to your licence. With the roof up, it makes a bit more noise than most modern hardtops, but hey, it's a convertible that weighs just over a tonne. The ride isn't quite as compliant as the long travel suspension of the previous model, but it's still good enough even on bumpy roads, and you could live with it every day. The new MX-5 still isn't tough, exotic, or particularly fast, but by crikey will it put a smile on your face. As always, you're not likely to understand that unless you have a drive of it, but good luck handing it back if you do.